volunteers help improve the living environment of an elderly grandma living in the mountainous area. In Penang, a high school provides recyclable lunch boxes for students to pack foods from the cafeteria. Selamat datang ke DAI Headlines, saya Simon Gan. Terima kasih menyertai sesi berita kita. Welcome to DAI Headlines. Thank you for joining us. In Taiwan, an 84-year-old grandmother lives with her two cancer-stricken sons in a simple tride courtyard in the mountainous areas of Taichung. They all have to climb 40 meters to go to the toilet. Tzu Chi volunteers learn about their problems and help improve their living environment. Let's take a look.
It collapsed during the 9/21 earthquake and the brick house fell. We just built this one, the sheet metal house.
Didn't you go to sell vegetables today? Your face is bandaged like this. Do you also sell vegetables? In the morning, the business is good. She always goes to the toilet outside. It is in such a steep place.
In a few days, there will be Tzu Chi volunteers. Volunteers in our uniform will come again. This wooden cane was used by my husband. My husband no longer uses it. He has passed away, so I use it as worker, but there is a section was cut off. Otherwise, it will be easy to take. I'm now willing to throw it away.
Let me take a look at your husband's picture. Where? I'll get it for you. You hide it. Where are you hiding it? Her husband is handsome. He really looks like you. Really like a husband and wife face. Handsome. He is handsome. No wonder you are not willing to lose his cane.
He died at the age of 78.
Grandma is not willing to throw it away, but it broke off and it was too short. Now we are trying to lengthen this crutch for Grandma so that Grandma can use it. Grandma, let's try its length.
In Da'an District, Taipei, a grandma had mobility issues after encountering an accident, causing her house to be filled with trash and rotten food. Huashan Social Welfare Foundation and local enterprises have sent out around 10 volunteers to head over and clean the house.
祝奶奶生日快乐，祝你生日快乐。
Under the group's blessing, the 67th birthday of Granny Xing was celebrated.
奶奶就是知道你的拖鞋太小了，我们买了2双拖鞋，
好，谢谢。
要让你穿得舒服。
好，谢谢。你这双比较大。
The gifts from volunteers are 2 pairs of flip-flops, replacing the original small flip-flop. Besides coming here to celebrate a birthday, volunteers have another mission to handle.
我会在前面尊重奶奶的意愿，我会问她奶奶这个我们帮你清掉。
In Granny Xing's house, from the doorstep one sees trash piled up everywhere. In a 142 square feet space, even walking is a challenge. Opening up the refrigerator, the inside are full of expired items.
受损。
She once got into a car accident and injured her brain. So, her understanding might be different from us. As we care for her, we need to talk with her to understand her needs. We need to communicate with her.
还要跟她沟通。
I cannot stand up. If only I could stand up and clean. I have a head injury, damaging my eye. Therefore, I cannot pick up things. Sometimes items fall down and I couldn't sit it well. And when I pick those up, I get dizzy.
阿姨，这个也烂掉，不要吃了啦。这个看都已经闭起啊。
Clearing out bags of trash from the house, Huashan Social Welfare Foundation and local enterprises have sent out around 10 volunteers to help clean.
我想她应该也
I believe that she thinks of improving her own environment since it is quite bad. Since we are young and we are flexible with time, we can actually spend a bit more time to help Granny, to improve her living conditions.
她的居住环境有一些改善。
Learning to help others and to care for elders living alone, these groups of young people have made their summer more meaningful.
In New Taipei City's Yonghe district, most of the area is occupied and crowded, making it difficult to find a suitable location to sort recyclables. But in the year 2000, Yongping Elementary School officials provided a space for recycling once a month, giving Tzu Chi and locals the opportunity to do mass recycling. Here's more.
我已经来这里永平已经将近20年了，在这里我做得十分欢喜。
大家来永平做环保吼，大家真欢喜。
照人说，要活就是要动，越动哦越健康。大家一起来做环保哦，这个地方就是我们的家。
A school is a treasure for the community. Tzu Chi volunteers come here once a month, using the school's hallways to sort recyclables gathered from the neighborhood. From the school's perspective, their activity doesn't affect students' learning, and to do recycling here at our school, I think it is a safe and suitable place for such an activity.
安全哈，又很合适的一个地点哈。
永平国小是一个非常支持。
Yongping Elementary School supports Tzu Chi's recycling on the second Sunday of every month, as volunteers and locals collect and gather recyclables and then sort them. Because we have this space, this is how a lot of people around the community know this place. When the day comes, some people would bring recyclables to the school for recycling and sorting. This helps our earth reduce the amount of waste.
减少真少的真济粪扫。
Every recycling volunteer is very satisfied and happy while doing recycling, and they come here self-motivated. For every recyclable material, they are all well informed about how to sort it.
14 years ago, I had breast cancer, removing my left breast. And this year, on the day of the January 31st, I had the surgery to remove my right breast. Now both are removed. But deep in my heart, I never thought I'm a sick person. I do recycling with a happy heart.
Since I came here to do recycling, which is a good thing, we take the recyclables and clean it. This also helps others.
Because we live near Yongping Elementary School, we actually have a lot of Tzu Chi brothers and sisters that joined in recycling due to this opportunity. Everyone is doing this happily.
大家都做得非常的法喜。
像有些老菩萨会问我说：“哎，今天你会？”
Some volunteers ask me, "What will you cook today?" Then I will ask them what they would like to eat, and I will cook it for them. Talking and being with these people is something I really like.
很喜欢这个氛围啦。
我们慈济的这个志工体系哈。
The volunteer system of Tzu Chi is very complete. Seeing that everyone is working hard here, I hope that more people can join the team for recycling.
回收哈资源回收的这个行列。
咱厝的环保站哈，伫永平国小已经做20年啊，希望各位都很健康，然后再继续做20年，好不好？好，好。
Tzu Chi volunteers from Xinjiang district have held a humanitarian lecture at the Institute of the Blind for Taiwan. They invited Tzu Chi volunteer Xu Qifeng to share his life story. 25 years ago, Xu got into a car accident and became paralyzed. Tzu Chi volunteers were there to accompany him, and he eventually became an expert in designing web pages and a radio program host. His life story truly inspired the visually impaired students.
"... 25 years later, I've come to share my experience with you. Tzu Chi has saved my life and saved my family. Today, I'm able to share my experience with you. Back then, I was receiving help. Now, I'm a giver with palms facing down."
With a change of thought, the visually impaired individuals at Institute for the Blind of Taiwan learn to cherish what they have.
It is very encouraging. I think there is more hope in life.
You will want to learn his spirit, learn from him, and work harder together.
He's able to do so much. We can learn from him and do the same.
When I hugged Brother Qifeng, I really wanted to cry. As a 57-year-old elderly man, I feel very touched to see he was able to find positive energy in the worst environment. This is really amazing.
可亲的艺术，这是让我觉得非常非常了不起。
第一口要祝自己口说好话，而且。
By attending a humanitarian lecture, the visually impaired individuals have learned to embrace the world with love.
Due to the pandemic, the Malaysian government prohibits students from dining in the cafeteria. In the face of such regulation, Zhongling High School provides students with recycled lunch boxes for them to pack food in the cafeteria, complying with the regulations and fulfilling the responsibility of environmental protection.
The cafeteria, which was normally crowded with students during the break, is now empty. In Malaysia, schools have resumed classes already. In order to maintain social distancing, the government prohibited students from dining in cafeteria. Thus, dining in classrooms has become one of the new norms in Malaysia.
麻烦嘛，比起以前。
不会啊，对啊，不要，在班比较舒服哦，而且不用排队，比较方便哦。赶点，因为饭每次要排很长啊，现在直接放盒子啊，就每个人都可以吃到饭。
There are currently about 4.78 million students in Malaysia. If every student uses disposable plastic bags for takeout food, about 24 metric tons of plastic wastes will be produced every school day.
The original idea was to ask class monitors to order takeout meals, then bring them back to class. But we thought of another problem. Because Zhongling High School is quite big with more than 2,200 students, this would create a lot of garbage. So we discussed it with the Parent-Teacher Association, which is very generous to sponsor us these lunch boxes. And the board of directors also donate big recycling bags to us. So the class monitors come here with the big recycling bags once a day to carry these lunch boxes filled with food back to the class, practicing environmental protection.
Students at Zhongling High School in Penang need to order meals at cafeteria before class. During break, the class representatives will pick up lunch boxes in the cafeteria. This new norm is now a new challenge for the cafeteria industry.
The trouble is, we have to open them one by one and pack food like this. It takes more time.
But for environmental protection, everyone is willing to make changes.
Not bad. They can keep reusing it and taking it to us for food.
The students quickly adapted to the new norm, but some students still miss the days of dining in the cafeteria.
If the situation permits, of course, I would prefer dining in cafeteria because we can sit with our good friends from other classes. At first, we did not get used to it, but we should adapt to it no matter how.
In the epidemic, it is not easy to implement the concept of environmental protection. But if we are determined, we can definitely achieve it during this difficult time.
At the moment, the pandemic has made masks a necessity for everyone. However, some worry that masks can lead to environmental pollution. Many manufacturers are unwilling to spend time and money to recycle used masks, with some countries sending used masks to incinerators. In fact, the public can wear high-efficiency reusable masks to protect themselves while also reducing the burden on the environment.
The COVID-19 outbreak in Malaysia showed multiple clusters in mid-July. For this reason, the government stipulated that all people must wear masks on public transportation and in crowded public places starting from August 1st. At present, the domestic demand for masks in Malaysia is 15 million pieces a month. According to a report from the Ministry of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs, 8 domestic mask manufacturers produced a total of 78 million masks between April and July 28th. At the moment of the epidemic, masks have become a necessity, but some worry environmental pollution has begun to arise.
Pollution created by the mask in the environment is very serious. First of all, the mask itself may contain viruses if it is not properly handled, and it may spread these viruses to another place. When it enters in landfill, it can cause contamination because it contains polypropylene materials, and if it goes into the ocean, it will pose a threat to sea creatures.
The structure of the mask is generally divided into 3 layers from the outside to the inside. There is a waterproof layer, a filter layer, and a water absorption layer. Most of the materials of the mask are non-woven fabrics made from plastic. Can these masks be recycled into raw materials?
It is really difficult to recycle masks. Manufacturers are not willing to spend much time and money to properly dispose of these masks. For example, disinfection and then going through high-tech technology processes these masks could be recycled. But if they were recycled, some people still may be worried.
For used masks, Malaysia currently sends the masks to a landfill site, while in some countries they are sent to incineration plants for disposal.
Some countries handle it very well. After using the mask, they throw them into a community trash bin, and the government will disinfect them. The mask will then be sent to the incineration plant.
In addition to disposable masks, we can actually purchase and wear highly efficient reusable masks to protect ourselves, thereby reducing the overall burden on the environment.
With the arrival of the auspicious 7th lunar month, Tzu Chi volunteers in Indonesia are busy preparing vegetarian lunches for the public. Over the course of the month, the public is invited to participate to cleanse their bodies and minds. Here's more.
This vegetarian lunchbox is colorful and full of flavor. It helps welcome the 7th auspicious month, where fasting and vegetarianism earns more blessings.
For many people, the 7th month of the lunar calendar is a bad month. Many people say it is a growth month. But the Master has said for many years that the 7th lunar month is a auspicious month. So we make a vegetarian lunches for everyone to enjoy. We believe that everyone can cultivate themselves.
Prepare dishes for guests who ordered. Volunteers come up with ideas and cook in their own kitchens.
We want to let people know that vegetarianism can be very diverse. For example, nasi lemak, pandan rice, or Malay rice balls, or other foods. Like today, we have prepared red vegetable salad, and it is paired with our own sesame sauce.
One group of people have large staff and have a large order volume. The courtyard of the home becomes used as a kitchen.
When the volunteer asked me if I could cook at my house, I immediately agreed. I thought that as long as it was something good, why not do it?
With everyone's effort and energy, vegetarian food becomes delicious. And it also inspires more people to pursue vegetarianism.
Setelah mengkonsumsi catering vegetarian ini, tubuh lebih sehat, gitu ya.
Ever since I eat vegetarian lunch boxes, I feel that my body has become healthier. I also feel everyone's love for us. It also makes me want to be vegetarian every day. Unfortunately, at this time, Tzu Chi only sells one of these lunch boxes a month.
For the auspicious 7th month, these vegetarian lunch boxes help purify the mind and body and also calms the soul.
In Taichung, 19-year-old college student Tzu Chi is from a low-income household. Due to her mother's illness, the family depends upon their grandmother to sell clothes in the market, making around $300 a month. As a filial child, Tzu Chi not only took on household chores, but also a gap year in high school in order to do part-time jobs to help her family. Recently, she was awarded the National Filial Piety Award.
During vacation, 90-year-old Tzu Chi is busier than others, trying to alleviate stress placed on her grandmother. Due to her own severe scoliosis, she wears a back brace to help out.
When I first knew Tzu Chi, she didn't undergo surgery yet on her spine, so before she was more humpbacked.
She figured that the household doesn't have money, and then she went out to do part-time work, handing out flyers. I thought to myself, she is so considerate of others.
Grandma with a weak leg and mother suffers from poor health. This led Tzu Chi to take a gap year during high school to do 2 jobs to help the family.
One day I heard her say she woke up around 4 in the morning, cooking breakfast and lunch for the entire family, then head out to driving lessons and work.
Social welfare groups offer an olive branch, relieving the family's economic situation. Last year, Tzu Chi had surgery for her spine and took an examination for the Department of Social Welfare. This is her top priority.
According to my own experience and background, and turning it into fuel for my future to serve others, I think I can be in their shoes.
We receive help from others and feel better. In the future, when we grow up, we must help others in return.
With the full support from her grandma, Tzu Chi said that in the future, she wanted to become a giver, helping more disadvantaged families and their children.
Tzu Chi Indonesia chapter, together with the local army, provided aid supplies to the local residents in Bogor during the pandemic. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you and goodbye.